Have you ever wondered what it's like to be an archaeologist? Have you ever wanted to visit an archaeology site? Well, here's your chance. You don't even have to get your hands dirty.
But I love being that person who touches something that hasn't been touched in 500 years, 1,000 years, or whatever, being the next person to touch something. It just it's really special to me.
You just get into that happy zone and just like, oh boy, you know.
Great opportunity to learn more about Maryland history.
This is the River Farm site, located on the Patuxent River in Anne Arundel County. The Lost Towns Project team, led by Jane Cox, includes archaeologists, students, and volunteers who are finding clues about the ancient Indians who lived here thousands of years ago.
The thing that I really enjoy is being out in the field when you're finding these pieces of ceramic that you know haven't been touched in 2,000 years or 1,000 years. You find projectile points, you find stone tools that fit in your hand, and it's just an incredibly tangible and visceral way of connecting with people that came thousands of years before us.
Archaeologists have discovered that people gathered and celebrated at River Farm for thousands of years. But why did they choose this place? And what did their celebrations look like?
Archaeology, it's about answers, but it's, I think, more about questions and puzzles. And you never have the whole puzzle. So if you think about a jigsaw puzzle in archaeology, you hate it when that last little piece, you've lost it, it's missing. Well, archaeology has a lot of missing pieces. We're generally more, you have a handful and you're trying to figure out what is that picture. We don't have the box to look at. But I like to try to think about what these little pieces would have looked like. What picture would that have constructed?
Maryland archaeologists have learned so much about the native people who once lived in this region, but there is a lot left to discover.
Anything that they're going to find relative to native culture prior to contact is going to be in the ground. We don't have monuments of marble and memorials of stone. We don't have brick buildings, etc., that have survived. Everything that was built was from the earth as a source. And everything that comes from the earth eventually is going to go back. I've learned enough to fill volumes, and I'm still learning.
Archaeology is an important part of the historic preservation process. Excavations all across Maryland have helped us learn about people who lived here before us, like the early colonists at St. Mary City, soldiers fighting the War of 1812 in Baltimore, and Calvert County African Americans freed from the bonds of slavery after the Civil War.
In a fast-growing area like Calvert County is, it helps us connect to an authentic past, not a past that's manufactured by developers who come in and recreate the same box that they created all across the country.
Archaeology isn't just digging holes in the ground. As Kirsty said, it's also talking about a sense of place. But I like the fact that it's archaeology, it's history, it's geography, it's geology, it's computer science, it's linguistics, physics. I mean, I could go on. But I really enjoy that aspect of it and doing something a little bit different every day. Every day is something different.
Archaeologists study the artifacts they find at labs all over the state, like this one. This is the Anne Arundel County Lab in Edgewater.
Welcome to the Archaeology Lab. Here we take all of the artifacts that come in from the field and we process them so that they can be stored long term and then analyzed for all of our research.
The artifacts are washed and dried, bagged and labeled, cataloged, and stored for research.
It's all about discovery, learning more about this place and how many different people have lived here back through time. It's amazing. We find new stuff all the time.
Archaeology gives us a unique way of understanding the past. We have the opportunity to reach out across the centuries and find things that people left behind. We can learn so much about them, what their lives were like, what they wore, when they lived, what their families were like.
Excavations inform building renovation projects, find traces of structures long gone from the landscape, and celebrate forgotten stories.
I love archaeology because it provides me a connection with a culture that I might not have thought of all the time, or I'm learning about. And that connection is so valuable with understanding and empathizing with other people.
I really enjoy it. And I like to pick something up and know that it was a tool, because it feels like a tool. I can imagine how I would use it. And when was it last held and touched? That's the part that just, it gets me.
Oh gosh, I guess just how cool it is, just to dig down, and it's like unwrapping a present. You know, you just keep peeling back the layers and just, you don't know what's gonna show up next.
If you'd like to learn more about archaeology in Maryland, check out these websites to learn about digs going on in your neighborhood.
Archaeologists dig through people's garbage. That's what we do.